Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome back to White Fortress Cybersecurity. हमने Nmap we started with our Nmap journey, and here we studied about multiple switches of Nmap, and we are going to continue with it. Very good evening, Louise. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about TCP Connect scans. Now, yesterday also I told you that we have got something like SYN scan. We have got TCP scan, UDP scan. So that we will be covering today. Let's start a machine, a target machine as well. Why? And here to understand TCP connect scans, it's important that you're comfortable with TCP, that is your three-way handshake. Very good evening, Pavani. Welcome back to the channel. And first of all, let's talk about little bit about the TCP handshake again. That whenever a client wants some data from server, okay, client is basically your browser. Like for example, I want a specific website from the server, like www.whitefortress.in. So what will happen? First of all, the client will make sure that the server is reachable, as well as the server will make sure that client is also reachable. So for that, TCP, that is your transmission control protocol, comes into the role. What will happen? First of all, the client will go like it will try to synchronize with the server. It will ask the server, hey, are you there? Then the server will reply that yes. It will acknowledge, yes, I'm there. How about you? Are you there? It will also try to synchronize, are you there? And will acknowledge that yes, I am there. Your messages are reachable to me, like that. And the client will also acknowledge that yes, server, you are also reachable to me. Then if I'm asking for some kind of website, what will happen? HTTP, HTTPS like protocols will come into the role. If I'm asking for file transfer, if I'm asking for some file from the server, then FTP will come into the role, right? What will happen right after this TCP handshake? Your other protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, FTP will come into the role, and the transfer of data will take place. I hope this TCP handshake is clear to you. So first what goes? Synchronizing. So to understand TCP scan, it's important to understand the three-way handshake. If this term is new to you, then complete introductory networking before continuing would be advisable. We have already done the networking part, so it is not necessary for the people who are already learning from us from the very beginning. As a brief recap, the three-way handshake consists of three stages. First, connecting terminal. Our attacking machine is this instance for now. It will send TCP request. What is our attacking machine? Either you will start your attack box, or you will connect with the open VPN using your own Kali limits, right? Like if I'm gonna use my own Kali Linux, uh, then this will be my attacking machine. And what is the target machine? This this is your target IP. Let's start a target machine. Oh, attacking machine simply by starting the Open VPN. Here it has started, and this is a target 10.201. Ten dot, let's just go like nmap 10.201 dot 84 dot 249. This is it. So target server will server with the SYN flag set. The server then acknowledges this packet with TCP response containing SYN and acknowledgement. And then finally, a terminal complete the handshake by acknowledgement flag. It will also acknowledge. And if we look into the Wireshark, okay, in the upcoming video lectures, we will talk about Wireshark. And it is also very good tool for monitoring network activity. We can see all the packets in very much detail in your Wireshark tool. So this is the screenshot of your Wireshark tool only. Here you can see there is some source destination you can see over here, some timing that how much time difference is there in each data packet. Then it goes like the protocol is being used as TCP. The SYN packet goes, then SYNAC is returned. Like here you can see the source is sending 142 destination to destination 141. Then 141 is replying with the SYN app. Then again our system 142 will send the acknowledgement. So this is how it looks in the Wireshark. Your TCP handshake looks like this. This is one of the fundamental principles of TCP IP network. But does it relate to Nmap? Very good evening, Ravi Rao. And guys, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can let me know. Okay, I'll be really very happy to help you out with everything. And for those who have texted me and I wasn't able to reply to them yet, if I'm not able to reply to you yet, I will whenever I get time. Okay, currently I'm just busy with lots of classes. So I as soon as I get free, I will get back to you. For example, if a port is closed, RFC this states that if the connection does not exist or is closed, then a reset is sent in response to any incoming segment. So this is one thing let me tell you about. Like when our client sends simply sends a target or whatsoever. Like for example, let's do this. Like for example, I'm using Nmap network mapping tool to scan multiple ports, and there it will tell me that there are multiple open ports, there are multiple filtered ports, but it doesn't show the closed ports. Okay, because we don't want to see the closed port. But what happens with all the other ports? Of course, they're closed. That's why they are not mentioned in the output. So how do our Nmap know that the port is closed? So, so what happens when our Nmap sends the SYN? It is replied back with the reset. Okay, just like your SYN, FIN, acknowledge, there is another reset, RST, you can call it. So synchronization, then the target will say reset. That means it's a closed port. Reset flag said by this response, Nmap can establish that the port is closed. If, however, the request is sent to an open port, the target will respond with the SYNAC flag set, right? If this was on, the target was there, then it will reply with SYNAC instead of reset. Nmap then marks this port as being open and completes the handshake by sending back a TCP packet with acknowledgement sent. And also our Nmap will reply back with the acknowledgement. This is all well and good. However, there is a third possibility as well. That is your firewall. We talked about filtered ports and everything. Many firewalls are also configured to simply drop the incoming packet. Nmap sends TCP SYN request and receives nothing in back. Like for example, your client, your Nmap is sending SYN request to the target on a specific port, and it will just take the SYN request, it gets the SYN packet, but it does not reply with any packet. It does not reply with reset, it does not reply with anything. Then also you can see that those are filtered because there is no reply getting back from that specific target machine. So many firewalls are configured to drop those SYN packets and this indicates that the port is being protected by a firewall. Thus, the port is considered to be filtered. So, many ports, whenever we see filtered port, means there is no reply back, there is no reset uh, flag coming back from there. That said, it is very easy to configure a firewall to respond with reset TCP packet as well. So sometimes firewalls might also be configured with the reset TCP packet. For example, in IP tables for Linux, this is a kind of access control list, access control stuff. A simple version of command would be as follows. Like this is the command IP tables hyphen I input this that वगैरह वगैरह and reject with TCP reset. Means what will happen on whichever port. Here port will be mentioned, which kind of port, TCP port, and it will reject that port with TCP reset. Means it will tell the system, it will tell our nmap for say that this specific port is closed because it will be sending reset only. This can make it extremely difficult, if not impossible, to get an accurate reading of the target. Okay, so what will happen? It will be impossible to get the accurate reading of the target. So, which RFC defines the appropriate behavior for TCP protocol? So, we already saw that RFC for appropriate behavior of the TCP port. I think this is it. States that if the connection is since segment. Till now, we have only seen this RFC. Also, we can go to this link. Yeah, here also you can see this RFC 9293 uh, specifies a transmission control protocol. TCP is an important transfer protocol, vagera vagera. Everything is mentioned over here. Okay, so let's take it as RFC. And if a port is closed, which flag should the server send back to indicate this? Yes. Yes, Louise, you are correct. It is RFC 9293. And if a port is closed, it will reply back with the reset. Yes, you're correct. Next is a SYN scan. Now, this is very important. This is also called stealthy half open scan. This is the most um, important scan, I would say, after the TCP, UDP, and all the other scans that we have did till now. Now, as with TCP scans, SYN scans are used to scan the TCP port range of a target or targets. However, the two scans type work slightly different. SYN scans are sometimes referred to as the half opens or stealth scans, where TCP scan perform a full three-way handshake with the target. SYN scans send back a reset TCP. Okay, so what does it mean? It is just saying in simple terms, what happens in the TCP scan? SYN will go, then SYNAC, then an nmap will reply with the acknowledgement, right? Or the client will reply with the acknowledgement. But what happens in SYNSCAN, this synchronization will go from a tool or whatsoever the system is, then the target will reply with this in an acknowledgement. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Then the client will send the reset that this port is closed. The port I have just sent you request with is closed. So what does it mean? It helps in deceiving, you can say, in a way. It deceives some of the of your security functionalities that are being used in your target system. So it's like deceiving your intrusion detection system, prevention systems using this thing. So where TCP scans perform a full three-way handshake with the target, since Ken sends a reset packet after receiving a SYN acknowledgement from the server. So what is happening? The client knows that the system is reachable. This port is reachable, but the target will not know that this system is still up and running. Here you can see, like for example, First of all, the SYN is going, then SYNAC is going, and ultimately that 142 system is replying with the reset to the target system. This is your Wireshark screenshot over here. Now, what is the use of this SYN scan? Here you can see all the advantages. This has a variety of advantages for us as ethical hackers. It can be used to bypass older intrusion detection systems. Okay, why older? Because new intrusion detection systems or new technologies are getting very advanced. So it might be difficult to deceive them as well. Hello, Krishna. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so it can be used to bypass older intrusion detection systems as they're looking out for full three-way handshake. So they basically every system wait for a full three-way handshake to make sure that the another system is up and running. This is often no longer the case with the modern intrusion detection solutions. It is for this reason that SYN scans are frequently referred to as stealth scans because it's like deceiving. So, since scans are often not logged by application listening on open ports, as standard practice is to log a connection once it's fully established. Okay, and again, this plays into an idea of SYN scan being stealthy. So, what does happen? SYN scans are often not logged by the application. Okay, this SYN scan is not even logged by the systems, and like they do not store the information that yes there was some SIM scan, but they will definitely store the information of full three-way handshake, full TCP handshake. They will log that, but they will not log the only SIM scan. So that's why also it's stealthy, and without having to bother about completing and disconnecting from a three-way handshake for every port, SYN scans are significantly faster than standard TCP connect scan. Why is it faster? Because they just have to send the SYN, then the SYNAC will come, then the reset will go. So it's bit faster than SYN, SYNAC, and acknowledgement. Then going again acknowledgement. It already knows that I have to send the reset packet. Okay, this is much faster than TCP scanning and they require pseudo permission. There are, however, a couple of disadvantages. Okay, about the pseudo permissions, we are already root users working in Linux, so we do not need any pseudo permission. We are root users for the time being. This is because SYN scans require the ability to create raw packets. And as opposed to the full TCP scan, which is a privilege only to the root user by default, वगैरह वगैरह. Okay, so let's simply do the SYN scan and the TCP scan. I'm going to simply put over here hyphen S capital T and do not forget the thread or timing you can say. Let's manage that as well. Let's put hyphen T4. Okay, so for the faster, okay, host seems down. I forgot to use hyphen PN so that this system does not ping the system to check if the host is down or up. So it will avoid pinging a target system. I hope these flags are very common and I hope this T4, PN, you remember it already, guys. Okay, it's already third class, I think. Yeah, it's third class of Nmap already. So it's a very, very important one. Here you can see it's TCP scanning is going on. But if I'm just simply, I want to do the SYN scan. So I will put hyphen S capital S and hit enter. Guys, if you have any doubts, any questions, then let me know and do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you like get any kind of doubts, you can contact us on the number that is given in the description below. And if you need mentorship, certification, or anything like that, for that also you can contact us. We are providing all the courses at a very good price currently. So it will be beneficial for all of you guys. Okay, so here we have they require pseudo permission in order to work correctly in Linux. This okay, this is done. Unstable services are sometimes brought down by SYN scans, which could prove problematic if a client has provided a production environment for the test. So sometimes what happens if there is some kind of like if the services are very unstable on the target machine, it might be not good practice to use the SYN scan in that case. So it is kind of a disadvantage to us all, but that is a very rare case as well. All in all, the pros outweigh the cons. Still, the pros are much more than the cons, and for this reason, SYN scans are the default scan used by the Nmap if you run it with the pseudo permissions. If you run it without the pseudo permission, then it will go for the TCP scan. When using SYN scan to identify closed and filtered ports, the exact same rules as with the TCP connect scan apply. Okay, same is in the SYN scan as well as in TCP scan. There is no much difference, uh, except it's much safer. If a port is closed, then the server respond with the reset TCP. And if the port is filtered by a firewall, the TCP SYN packet is either dropped or spoofed with a TCP reset packet. Sometimes it will still show us that the packet is closed instead of filtered. SYN scans can also be made to work by giving Nmap the CapNet Pro or CapNet admin or CapNet bind service capabilities. However, this may not allow many of the NC scripts to run properly. This is not very useful. Let's forget about that. Now, there are two other names for the SYN scan. What are they? Okay, we have already covered it. The two names for SYN scan. Here you can see them, half open and stealthy. Can Nmap use SYN scan without pseudo permission? Tell me. We have just covered it. Can Nmap use SYN scan without the pseudo permission? And what are the two names? We already covered that. So, yes. Half open and still. Still. These are the two names. And can Nmap use SYN scan without pseudo permission? No. Correct. And I want other people to also respond with these answers. Okay, if you're studying, if you're communicating more, it will be much more comfortable for you as well. Okay, it's showing me create a channel to join the chat. Why, sir? Just a second. Oh, listen again. Create a channel to join the chat. So it should not be the option for other people who are already in the chat, right? Okay, so UDP scan. Okay. Unlike TCP, UDP, our connections are stateless. So just like we saw in TCP, they follow the proper three-way handshake. That they will make sure that your, what do we call it? Here we are again. Yeah. It will not do any kind of handshake. If there is some kind of packet is coming, it will just respond back with the data without uh, taking care of anything else. So here you can see, unlike they are connectionless or stateless. Let's TCP versus UDP just in case you don't get it. Here we can see, like in TCP, there was a proper handshake. But in UDP, whosoever is requesting the data and the other server or system will respond with the packets without caring about the packet arrival. If the packet is getting lost or not, if packets are all reachable or not, they do not care. They only care about sending the packet back to the system which has asked for the particular data. This means that rather than initiating a connection with back and forth handshake, UDP connections rely on sending packets to target port and essentially hoping that they make it. This makes UDP superb for connections which rely on speed over quality, example video sharing. So, in some things, in some of the things like video calling, like right now I'm streaming, right? So, for streaming and things like that, UDP is used. TCP is used when I'm sending you a file. The packet should not get lost. If the packet get lost, the file will get corrupted, right? So UDP scans are used when speed is needed over quality, but lack of acknowledgement makes UDP significantly more difficult and much more slower to scan. But this thing, UDP is slower to scan and TCP are faster to scan. The switch for an Nmap UDP scan is -SU. We already did this thing. We already used -SU to do the UDP scanning. Okay, but it takes a lots of time to do not forget to use -T4 or something like that. -T4 or -T5. It will make it faster because this flag takes the most time. Uh, okay. When a packet is sent to an open UDP port, there should be no response. When this happens, Nmap refers to port being open or filtered. In other words, it suspects that the port is open, but it could be firewalled as well. Okay, so which is if it gets UDP response, which is very unusual, then the port is marked as open, and more commonly there is no response, in which case the request is sent to the second time as a double check. If like there is a response back from the UDP port, it will again send the request second time to just double check that that port is still open or not. If there is still no response, then the port is marked as open, filtered by the Nmap, and Nmap moves on. So this is bit, I would say, difficult to scan UDP ports. And when a packet is sent to a closed UDP port, the target should respond with an ICMP packet containing a message that the port is unreachable. So it will make sure that the port is closed. Okay. If there is no response, if there is no response at all, or there is a response, then it will go like, okay, this is open, but or filtered. But if there is a response ICMP packet that contains that the port is unreachable, that means that is closed. This clearly identifies a closed port, which Nmap mark as such, means it marks it as closed and moves on. Now next we have is UDP. Okay, let's just look into this thing. We can simply do Nmap-SU. This is a better method for scanning your UDP ports. -SU is for UDP ports, and it will scan for top ports, top 20 ports. Here you can see how many top ports? 20 ports. Which top 20 ports? UDP means most used. Most used 20 ports will be scanned of UDP. So we can simply use this thing. So if a UDP port doesn't respond to a Nmap scan, what it will be marked as? Tell me, if the UDP scan doesn't respond, it is not responding. If it is responding with ICMP unreachable, that means it's closed. But if it is not responding, then it can be marked as what? Okay, you need to give the answer, and let's do this hyphen top port thing. So what we have to do, this is a target system, and here we will simply do the -S capital U and then -T4, and we will use hyphen top ports. Okay, if we do not put -SU, then it will go for the UDP port, oh, TCP ports. But if we are putting -SU, then it will go for only top 20 UDP ports. Yes, Pavani and Louise, you both are correct. It's open and filtered. What does it want? Just a second, I'll have to change it. Yeah, it wants bar. Okay, I just had to put this bar. So when a UDP port is closed, by convention, the target should send back a port unreachable message. Which protocol is used to do so? Tell me which protocol sends port unreachable. I just told you. It's a ping. What ping is using? Which protocol is used by ping? Yes, you both are correct, Pavani and Louise. Oh, I could not put hyphen because in the answer it has to be this bar. Here you can see, no? I had to put this bar instead of hyphen or comma. Tell me which protocol is used for sending port unreachable. And guys, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can let me know. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and stay connected with us. Also, you may register for our cybersecurity courses if you are interested. The link is already in the description below. We'll provide certification, mentorship, live class recording, notes, everything. ICMT. Yes, you're correct, Louise. It's ICMT. Let's go to the next one. Null, fin, Xmas scans. Yes, Pavani, you are also correct. So unlike this, okay, this is done. Null, fin. Now, null, fin, and Xmas TCP port scans are less commonly used. Okay, I already told you these are mainly used. TCP and scan UDP scans are used, but null, fin, Xmas are not used. But you should know about them. Okay, are less commonly used than any of the others we have covered already. So we will not go into a huge amount of depth here. All three are interlinked and are used primarily as they tend to be even stealthier. Why? It's even stealthier than the SYN scan. Beginning with the null scan. Why it is so? We'll get to that point. So as the name suggests, it sends null packet. Okay, and for sending this null packet, we have to simply put hyphen S and capital N for that. Or when the TCP request is sent with no flag set at all. As per RFC, the target host should respond with reset if the port is closed. So there is no flag set in the null. There is no SYN flag. There is no what do we call it? Acknowledgement flag. This is just null. No flag, but it is a packet. Okay, and it should respond with the reset if the port is closed. Here you can see, here is a null flag sent, and then a reset and an acknowledgement is being replied from. And here you can see much more. This is a Wireshark screenshot. Here in the flag, fin not set, SYN not set, reset is not there, push. These are multiple kind of flags you will see: reserve, nonce, congestion window reduce, ENC urgent, acknowledgement, push, reset, SYN, fin. These are all the multiple kind of flags. For urgent, you will see URG, just like null. There is URG. Okay, next is your fin scan. So fin is your hyphen SF work in an almost identical fashion. However, instead of sending a completely empty packet, a request is sent with the fin flag. What is fin used for? Finish. Fin is used for finish. Usually used to gracefully close an active connection. So if there is an active connection. Once again, Nmap expects a reset if the port is closed. Finishes send, reset if the port is closed. Next, SX is for Xmas. It is a malformed TCP packet. As with the other two, it's a malformed TCP packet. How is it malformed? It might be like larger in the size or smaller in the size than the normal packet, and expects reset response for the closed ports again, and it is referred to as an Xmas scan, as the flag that it sets is push, urgent, or finish scans. Give it the appearance of a blinking Christmas tree when viewed in the uh, packet capture. Here it is called Xmas because there is fin, push, and urgent is set in this Xmas scan, and reset will be responded by the target if that specific port is closed. Next, now, which of these three shown scan types uses urge flag? We have just did that, and here also there is some theory. Let's cover that too. The expected response from open port with these scans is also identical and is very similar to that of UDP scan. Means what will happen? There will be no response at all. If there is a UDP scan open, if there is a UDP port open, there will be no response. Okay, so that port will be considered as open. But if there is a response, that means that specific port is closed. Here you can see if the port is open and we are sending Xmas scan, fin scan, or null scan, then there will be no response at all. There is no response to the malformed packet. Unfortunately, as with the open UDP, that is also expected behavior if the port is protected by a firewall. So if there is a firewall, then null, fin, Xmas scan will only ever identify port as being open, filtered, closed, or filtered. If a port is identified as filtered with one of these scans, then it is usually because the target has responded with the ICMP unreachable. Everything like that. Okay, this is just normal theory. Okay, this one. The goal here is, of course, the firewall evasion. Many firewalls are configured to drop the incoming TCP packet to block ports with which have the SYN flag set, thus blocking new connection initiation request. By sending requests which do not contain the SYN flag, we can effectively bypass this kind of firewall, and most modern IDS solutions are savvy to these kind of scans, and so don't rely on them 100% effective when dealing with the modern system. So in modern system, we will still say that all these scans might not work that efficiently, but still there are very few uh, organizations, you can say, which uses newer technology. Okay, the people who are aware about the cybersecurity and stuff, they will definitely try their best to make their system secure. But those who are very unaware about all these, they still might be using the older technologies, making them very much exposed to the cybersecurity threats. Yes, you're correct, Pavani and Louise. The three scans, including the URGE flag, is used by the Xmas. And why are null, fin, and Xmas scans generally used? Why are they generally used? Why are null, fin, Xmas scans generally used? Okay. And guys, if you have any doubt, any question till now in any of the flags, just let me know, okay? This is a task. They are usually used for firewall evasion, okay? Firewall evasions. And which common operating system may respond to a null fin xmas scan with a reset for every port? It will, okay, so Windows system usually respond. No, Lucy. Stealthy, they are stealthy, but they are generally used for firewall evasion. Here you can read that thing. Okay, here in the last one, block quotes, and here also I think, yeah, here you can see that is also expected behavior if the port is protected. No, not this one. This last para, just go through it again, and here you will be able to see. So these scans included, this SYN scan is used for your firewall evasion, and which uh, common operating system will respond to null fin xmas scan with reset, that is your Windows system. Okay, so Microsoft Windows. Next we have is ICMP network scanning. Uh, okay, let's do this one last. This is very simple. On first connection to a target network in a black box assignment, our first objective is to obtain a map. What does it mean? It is just simply saying that we need to map the network. We need to know that how many systems are available in our network. Just like I did now in yesterday's lecture, I scanned for a range. I can either scan for that range using a range like this and map, then 192.168.0.1.254, or I can simply give the CIDR mask like /24, /16 for class B IP addresses, and /8 for class A IP addresses. Okay, so class A IP addresses are many. It's like 16 million plus addresses will be scanned. So we better give a specific range for that. So do not use it for the class A uh, thing. Okay, do not use it for class A. It's better to use it for class C only. Yes, Louise, that was Windows. You're correct. And hyphen SN is, I already told you about hyphen PN. What happens in hyphen PN? In hyphen PN, it will not ping the system. It will not check if it will not ask the system if it is up or not. And in hyphen SN, it will only ping the system. It will not scan for the ports. Yeah. The hyphen SN switch tells Nmap not to scan any port and forcing to reply primarily with the ICMP echo packets only, or ARP request on a local network if run with sudo or directly as the root user to identify targets in addition to ICMP echo. I've already told you about all this. Okay, it's done. And switch also cause Nmap to send TCP packet to the port 443 TCP SYN packet as well as TCP acknowledgement packet if not run as root packet to the 80 port of the target. Okay, so whatsoever, here you already know about this thing. CIDR mask for class C /24, for class B /16, for class A /8. That's it. Now, how would you perform a ping sweep? It's saying that you just have to ping all the systems and check if they're available or not. Just like I did in the past, right? Like for example, For example, I'm simply going for nmap 192.168.1.0 network slash 24. Why I'm putting slash 24? Because this is a class C address. And here I'm gonna just simply do the ping suite. Means I will ping each and every system uh, on this network. Let's run it. Okay, let's do hyphen T4 too to make the result faster. Okay, here you can see it's very fast. Here 1.1 is available, 1.33 is available, 1.34, 1.35, 1.37 and 1.40. These are the systems that are available at the moment, right? So these systems are basically um, we got a map that these are the systems. We can also find out which operating system they are using, right? We have already did that, hyphen O, hyphen A, stuff like that. So now it is saying that it wants to do the ping suite, means only want to ping all the systems. And this is the network address 172.16, and this has got the subnet mask of this, means they belong to class. Yes, live host. All the live hosts we scanned. Nagendra, welcome back to the channel. So what we will do, first of all, we will go for the nmap only. Then we want to do only ping suite, means we want only ping the system. So for that we will use hyphen sn. And now what more? Here, what should I give for this specific network? This is a class B network. I've already told you about this. What network address I should give? And here you can see there is slash. And I have to give this CIDR notation as well. So tell me what should be the answer for it. It's very easy, guys. I've already told you. And if you have any doubts, any questions, just let me know. Louise Pavani. Yes, CIDR. I've already told about the class B CIDR as well as. And what should I give over here? This is the network. And what I gave over here, here also I gave the network address first of all, right? And then I gave the CIDR mask. Same we have to do over here. But that one that just I did was of class C. Now this is of class B. What will I do for that? I will simply, yes, 16 will be the CIDR mask. So I simply will put it like 172.16.0.0. Why 0.0 over here? Because we are giving the network address. And after this slash 16. Okay, now it's done. Okay, that's it, guys, for today. If you have any doubts, any questions, you can let me know. And tomorrow, I think we will complete all of it. Uh, and if you have any doubts, any questions, you can let me know in the chat. And if you're watching the recorded video, then you can let me know about your doubts in the comments. Also, you can contact me on the number given in the description below for all your doubts, all your questions, all your queries. And if you need to do any certification at a very good price, we are providing it at the moment. So I will really like tell you to do that thing. Okay, you can register for our courses. The link is already given in the description below. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much, Pavani, and everyone else, Louise, Nagendra, and Krishna, Ravi Rao. Thank you so much for your support and everything. See you tomorrow on the same time, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Bye bye.